All right, Grant. So thank you for being here with me.
You're welcome.
Uh, yeah, so you've been in the sailing and coaching business for a while now, and I think you're one of the most respected coaches on the Olympic circuit, TP52s, whatnot. So thank you for being here.
No problem.
And I think the first question would be, how do you think coaching changed in the past 10 to 15 years, technology wise, or how things developed?
Well, 10, 15 years ago, a coach would take a couple of photographs and happen to show them on his computer and with note and just show here how this is how this looks and this is how that they look, and that was about it. And he was considered high tech, Now, but the world's moved on, and when we coach the younger people, they are far more engaged in technology than the older coaches. And I think once you introduce technology to the younger kids, they expect it. And nowadays, if you don't have to describe your tracks or describe with some technology behind you, you're not considered top of the league coaches anymore. You're sort of old school. So that's a really good thing. And with this my software, the SailCloud, the kids love using it because for them it's like a game. And in fact, when I analyze photographs and sail trim and heel angles, I get that there's usually a fight for the kids to go and use the tool. And so they're doing the work for me. And when they're doing the work, they get to understand what we're trying to tell them. And they actually know without us even telling them. So I think it's a fantastic way in the future. It's going to be great. And with tracking software, when we introduced the tracking software a few years ago, it was all new. And now I can't really do a debrief without it. And the kids don't expect a debrief without it. And so at the end of the debrief, I walk away, the kids come up to the TV screen or the computer, and each of the teams analyze their own performance. And so they're getting right into it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think this is actually go quite well with some of the top athletes in our sports, that when you talk to them, they say that there is a lot of self-learning in sailing. I think some of them are even saying at times, don't listen to your coach. Like, you really have to be self-critical and do a lot of the analysis yourself, and then use the coach as say it as a second opinion, almost sometimes. Do you find this happening as well?
Yes, because once the kids get a handle on their technology, they can self-coach. And, what we see on the water as coaches, they feel on the boat, and then they see in the tracking software. So it's a sort of a three-way collaboration. They know they had a bad tack or a bad jibe or a bad leg or a good leg or a good jibe, and they want to know the reason why. Use technology, it tells them the facts, the results, and the coach can help tie it all together. They may have a video of it or some pictures or just an opinion. And so using the athletes, the technology and the coach, you end up with a pretty powerful tool. And it's not even an opinion anymore, it's fact, because you've got technology to back it up. So it's reinforcing all three levels of what we're saying is correct. So it's not seat of the pants anymore.
I think that what your software does, the SailCloud, by taking photos and whatnot of your sails and try to analyze it, or analyzing it, not trying, and actually analyzing it, and then you can go back to it when you go back to shore, and you can look at your sails again and say, okay, that was a fast bit, like we were fast on this bit of the track, and here we were slow. And then you can look at the sail shape and analyze it and whatnot. So you can actually learn from it quite a lot, but you can also see the shape of the cells, and then you don't have to remember what it looked like on the water. You can actually see it. And I think by seeing a picture, by seeing a video, you almost like reliving that moment, and then it triggers quite a lot of the feelings and the thought you were experiencing during that moment in time. And you don't rely on your memory. You rely on visuals.
Yeah, that's right. And when you analyze it and you measure, the twist between a fast competitor and maybe yourself, and you can see the photographs and you see, oh yeah, they're tighter trimmed and we're open. But with the software, I can measure it down to the millimeter. So I know they're closed by 75 mil or 3 inches. And all of a sudden the guy on the boat goes, okay, well, 75 mil is maybe only 2 clicks of main sheet. And that's all I need. So all of a sudden you're not just, say you need to sheet harder and they pull in, 150 mils and the boat parks. They actually know it's only 2 clicks of main sheet, and then you're good. So it narrows down the range you get to trim. So you get to be quite critical, and you get to learn quite quickly. 2 clicks equals 3 inches or 2 inches, and then all of a sudden your trimming technique and skill level goes through the roof.
Yeah, and do you feel that it sort of happens the same when they're looking at their truck or other data points? So do you feel that if they see some sort of video footage of certain bits of the truck, say going around the mark or going in a straight line or whatnot, rather than just looking at the numbers, do you feel that this is giving them any benefits as well?
Oh, the tracks are hugely beneficial, because you may say one side of the course was favored for sure, but then with the tracks, you can see if it's boat speed, it could be wind speed, or it could be shift, could be geographical, it could be a persistent shift. And so you get to see visually what a persistent shift looks like. And the right hand side of the course was favored, and this is the reason why. It could be current. And so once you see the tracks, you go, okay, well, the right hand side paid, why? And then you have to break it down to geographical, wind speed, your own boat speed, technique, or wind shift. So it shows, it kind of gives you the answer, and then you back analyze it to work out why.
Yeah, and how do you think this helps you with improving your, say, boat handling? Or this is something that you feel that might be quite missing on that?
Well, I think you may need to improve your tacking or jibing. And with jibing, for example, there's many ways. There's 3 or 4 different techniques you could use. And so you can get a jibe analysis, and you see which is the greatest loss or the biggest gain. So, and you can you can do 3 or 4 jibes one technique, 3 or 4 jibes another technique, and so on. And so there's a result there, raw data to tell you which basic technique was fastest. And then you can, again, with video, you can see it, and you can work out why. And you see the tracks, the gain, or the loss. And so I think, again, it's another tool to back up your feeling as a sailor. You have the data, it gives you the fact that this jibe is better than the other jibe. And then you have the coach, probably with the video, and you see, I see this, and then you can see it play in real time.
Nice. And I think, well, one of the last questions. So I think you're working at really high level with the TP52s, and then down to Olympics and Olympic development classes and whatnot. How do you see technology trickles down from those top teams to the lower levels, or to the less budgeted teams?
Right. Well, it starts at the top level, because they have the budget to create the tools. And that's great for the America's Cup and TP52s and all the pro programs. But then I find what happened, and the company ends up going, okay, we have the tool now, and so let's, have a version of the tool to go down to the lower level or the learning levels. And what happens is that they have, it could be the full tool that they use, or just a light version of it, software, light, you could say. And then, but that's good enough. And then they start there, they get comfortable with it. And then at some point they go to the mid-level of the software and add a couple of other tools in there to have a look. And then pretty soon they're basically up to the TP52 standard and look at everything. Again, with a dinghy, you don't have instrumentation, but you can calculate your wind direction and wind speed and things like that. So then all of a sudden there's some great tools available for you.
Yeah, and I think the last one, what is your pro tip for coaches or sailor want to improve their performance and maybe use some digital tools?
I'd say don't overwhelm the kids with too much at once. Pick on 3 items to improve every day, and then use the tools to show those 3 items, whatever they are. And so the kids go away with three data points or 3 things each day. And pretty soon they're going to end up pretty all-round sailors.
Amazing. Thank you so much.